blue, so you can tell more tap selectors are losing.
See, Joe, you've been doing this for so much longer than I.
Absolute tech is that. Absolute tech is.
Thank you, Sensei.
All right, anyway. Zeri, Misfortune Leona underway from AL. The Lilia and the Ashe still taking off the board, but a Rumble gone as well.
Kennon's up. First time in the series. Just want to flag that right now. AL are still going to first pick Lucian. I think that makes a lot of sense. But Kennon has made its way through. Will AL early rotate a top lane carry, even if it's blind? I mean, with Karthus there now, I expect Karla will probably eventually land on an AD top laner, and they're gonna probably steal this Renekton away. I can see this very easily going through. Top Esports went towards the Jace, went towards the Ezreal after Zyra, so two very fast clearing junglers will be present in this one. And even with the Cannon God, now, so what we see now, again, these two hoppers make the most sense. Maybe it's a bit of a flag. 2369 to say, go on, lock the Renekton in, or we're taking the Renekton, lock the Jace in, do it. You don't have the cojones.
Let's see what 369 is going to do about it. But it's JackeyLove and Tian with their lock-in so far. It could be a top lane answer, but it could be something towards the mid lane instead. Surprised by this long Yasuo hover and Creme goes on the Corki. You could hear the crowd oohing at the Yasuo hover. Creme just playing with their hearts.
Yeah, exactly. Top Esports, they don't want to deal with that Alistar lane. They saw what it was capable of in game number 2. Not willing to give over another strong lane pairing like that. I wonder what we will end up with from AL on the bottom side. Though, right now in the meta, Joe, we do see Lucian normally be in the mid lane. I still want to say, it's not like it's impossible to play a bot lane. And into Ezreal, I'd imagine the lane matchup's probably just fine, as long as you get a good support matchup. AL, gonna remove away the Ornn. Probably one more stable pick for 369.
Yeah, I think they're going to ban the Cassante, and they're saying, look, pick the Jace 369, I dare you. Because if you do, we are going under your tower time and time again.
Yeah, I think they will actually just dive him on repeat if he goes towards the Jace. Remove that Cassante away, and I mean, even more enticing, you have Ezreal and you have Corki, you know, like, Jace, it just kind of slots in quite nicely as a bit of a poke chap, you know, and compositionally it'll make a lot of sense. They would lack frontline, and I think that's probably what 369 and Top Esports are thinking about right now anyway. I don't think they're going to bite onto this bait here by anyone's legend. I think they're just going to dig a bit deeper about what is there really for our boy here in the top lane. With those prominent picks removed, Gragas. Yeah.
El Clasico.
Yeah. El Clasico.
He was once flamed by Kaisa for the pick, but he's practiced since then. And now it's become very much a staple pick for 369. Good neutralizing lane against things like the Jax, things like the Renekton. We'll see if it's going to be enough. Hope gets one of his signatures. Kaisa has been banned a couple of times in this series. It's something that Hope has relied on a lot this year, and it will be locked in once more. Things like the Rel also available.
Yeah, Rel's still up. Pretty decent into the champions Top Esports is showing. Only really Gragas can dissuade and deal with a Rel engage, so I would expect it to get locked in, even over maybe an Alistar. I guess that's the other option here for Kael, and that's probably the two supports we'll end up seeing in this game. Rakan. Oh, wow, okay. I don't mind this either, because...
It's a perfect angle again! How does this keep happening? If I had a nickel for every time Meiko gets the perfect the angle, I now have 4. This is way more than 2. This is not how the quote's meant to go.
Yeah, and this... Yeah, this is a really, really obnoxious... It's almost obnoxious how good this Poppy game is. But, are we actually gonna... No? No 4 games in a row?
He's going Poppy, I can feel it. No, he's not!
Wow.
I couldn't feel it at all.
You couldn't feel anything, Joe. Well, AL have given themselves, in my head, what should be 3 lanes of Prio, a Karthus, and pretty solid scaling when it's all said and done. I do feel like Top Esports, just that flat face value, do scale a bit harder. But Karthus against 3 squishies who don't necessarily have access to ways to block the Requiem layer into the game could be a bit problematic. And yeah, I can see a good early game here for AL, as long as they look to set up Croco for Top Esports. It's more of the same from the rest of the series. strong front to back, good front line, solid engage, but also solid disengage. It's a very versatile set of champions they've got in that regard, their frontliners. So let's see how they're going to use that versatility as we move into game number 4, series point.
Corki Ezreal feels very classically top esports as well. It's a combo we've seen a lot from JackeyLove and Knight back in the day. Now Creme stepping up once again. He's been good on the AD carries though. Corki's definitely been a comfortable pick for him. He's against Lucian. He's been a champion that pretty much came in the meta to answer the Corki in those early trades. But Shanks has been having a tough series. One of the most valuable players on this whole roster. He's been a standout for his team. 10 MVPs this year, or this split, far more than anyone else on the team. But can he step up when it matters the most, when his back is against the wall?
I love how the LGD Gyos managed to sneak their way in.
Yep.
On the back.
Every single time there's a big crowd.
Well, Joe, top lane's over. See that? 369's got a graph stack, buddy.
That's true.
It's it, Mental War 1.
I mean, he's so tanky now. Look at all that health, and it's all down to that one
All
stack.
that extra 7 HP.
Whew. Whew. I mean, it's just too much. It's just too much. Let's be serious, though, and talk about these compositions, as we could be entering the final game here for AL's year. But hopefully not. Hopefully we get a bit of silver scrapes for ourselves. Let's talk composition, though, because, as you said, 3 pushing lanes for AL and a Karthus. You expect Croco to have his run of the map.
Yeah, Croco is also going to be starting the top side here of Tian. Now, Tian is starting on his own moves, so it gives him a bit of flexibility in terms of where he goes. But Croco could also very easily just do the Raptors and then leave. So let's see where he goes, because if Croco hits these Qs, like, you know, people often talk about Karthus as being a very weak early game jungler. I promise you, as soon as he gets that second point in Q, if he doesn't miss, he wins a lot of 1v1s that you wouldn't expect him to actually have an advantage over. And he's going right over here to match Tian at these Raptors.
The blast cone from Croco to get here. Can he get in range?
He's gonna fly out of the
The smite comes on through, and Croco denies the counter invade from Tian. Beautifully done by Croco.
He gets most of it as well. Oh no, he got the whole camp. He didn't even miss a single little chicken, because he's got 8 CS there at the bottom. So this is a massive time sink that Tian, you know, has invested now to effectively get nothing. So that's a big lead individually that Croco's going to be able to get, because he can just now full clear bot to top with no real worries in the world if he so chooses.
And it's completely nullified. One of the biggest reasons Zyra is such a powerful pick is that really fast first clear and the ability to then influence the rest of the map. I mean, that just doesn't exist for Tian in this game now. Really, really nice start from Croco. Great bit of pathing. I think that's one of the biggest strengths AL has had this year, honestly, is Croco has been a fantastic driver of the early game.
Yeah, not only that, you know, you talk about Zyra being the speedster of jungle clears in this patch. Karthus the original king.
Yeah.
By a long shot. So even as Tian goes up to his red buff now, Croco is basically almost in sync with him as a flash forward.
Engaged, level 3 versus level 2. Hope stunned underneath the tower. Kael locks a Q though and keeps his AD carry alive. 2 summoners for 2 summoners down in the bottom lane.
Yeah, big wave pressure as well. Hope he's going to stick around. He's super low. There's no jungler on either side of the map down there because they're both up here. Tian's making his way towards Arla.
Ala's getting solo killed. Ala's getting solo killed by 369. He's 9s all day today.
Could be a dive as well now.
Hope knocked up, but Meiko's got a bit deep for this one. JackeyLove trying to get these Qs out, and this is while the wave is crashing as well. Hope has to get as much of this CS as he can. AL going to help him do exactly that. AL surviving in the bottom side, but Ala can't say the same.
We can't remember. This is Renekton picked away from 369 early in this draft by anyone's legend, by Ala. And they even flashed the Jace plenty of times and said, go on, buddy, pick a carry matchup. Go ahead. Banned away 2 tank options. Still lands on the Gragas. Still finds a solo kill in this 1v1. And Ala is going to be looking for a little while now as Tian.
Shanks wants Tian here. The movement speed is there. Meiko's over the wall. Oh, Shanks not willing to commit for it. Knew that Tian's abilities were coming back off cooldown soon. But will secure the double scuttle for Croco.
Indeed he will. Let's look at this 1v1. There's a dash forward from Ala. Uses the empowered Q. That's Ala. And Gragas, I mean, as 369, he kind of just stands there and takes it because he can. That big old damage proc out of the W plus the grasp is just so hefty. And Renekton just wasn't matching the damage, plain and simple.
It's kind of funny watching the Gragas pro view of him just sort of walking towards him and just hitting each ability, and it just chips him away and out sustains him. Fantastic game so far from 369. The level 1 grass proc comes up in the end and sets up for a solo kill. But in all seriousness, like 369's had a great series here. Obviously the one Jace game was definitely all Ala. But aside from that game, it has felt like 369 has been finding the advantage in that top side.
Throughout this entire series, it feels like outside of that Jace game, 369 has had the 1v1 number pretty much all the time. Now, grubs are spawning up. Croco is on the top side, but so is Tian. Tian has been spotted on vision. I will also add, though, because of...
Oh, no. Ala's rooted while the grubs are up. I don't know if... I wasn't sure if they would try and commit for a pick, but instead Tian moved over towards the grubs. It's one taken by AL. Honey through there for Ala, but so is Creme. I'm not sure that was a positive trade. And that's a flash away from Ala. Top Esports will claim the other 2 grubs. And AL really struggling on this top side.
Yeah, this was definitely supposed to be a heist job from AL. 1 grub and out. Ala just makes a bit of an oopsie. Shanks was chunked out in the mid lane. Didn't actually have the opportunity to rotate over, and also Meiko was first move over Kael, so even being at the grubs first was a bit of a lie there. Fortunately, the worst of it is just losing the flash off of Ala. Shouldn't have too much impact outside of just that top lane 1v1 for the time being.
Very quiet 4th game, and understandably so. I feel like Top Esports are wanting to finish this series clean because we've talked a lot about the stakes for AL, and obviously this is a big one for them. This could be their last game of the year. But for Top Esports, you know, this is a team that came in with massive expectations. This is, by all accounts, a super team. And they've come in as 3rd seed. If they didn't make it to the double elimination, you know, this is an organization that have been towards the top so many times, but only ever won that singular trophy. It would just be so devastating for them not to be able to make it into the top 4 and have that chance to fight once again for the Silver Dragon. It'd be embarrassing for them, honestly, considering the year they've had. Creme forced away by Shanks, but Shanks takes tower shot. Not ideal there, and now with rockets flying on in, Creme has very much control of the mid lane.
Yeah, Shanks is also very much out of mana. I think there is a plant there, just barely off screen, as Croco steals away the blue. Doesn't get caught by the root.
Early on the Strangledoors there from Tian. Forces the flash from Croco. True shot hits 2. In comes home to finish Meiko off. Support for support. Creme still hammering out the poke, and so is JackeyLove. AL can't stick around.
No, they can't. We'll just return to posts, reset. Looks like Croco's just going to go back to farming. He's got a full set of jungle respawning up, I believe, so kind of alright with that. But the dragon won't be taken for the time being. Ala, it's not your skull crab, buddy.
Very confidently positioned, but I'm not sure he should be quite as confident as he is. 369 is moving over. He's at least delayed it. Tian will clear the ward, will walk away with his life, and will grab that scuttle crab. So, all things considered, it works out for Top Esports with Kael moving over. I was a little nervous for just a second, but it's all okay in the end.
Ooh, yeah, that root there just barely missing. And look at this. Meiko is flash was just 1 second off. Could have followed Croco, but then goes in. Kael gets absolutely one shot on the way in. That's just the kill trade. 1-to-1, and it's Croco getting that kill, and that's kind of big.
Certainly is. Croco getting ahead of the game is fantastic news for AL. Such good early pathing, and now with the kill as well. He's 500 gold ahead individually. Really, really great year from Croco, honestly. Coming over from the LCK, kind of wanting to prove himself, I guess, in another league. And again, I mean, it'd just be such an incredible story if AL could make it into that top 4, but it's just such a mountain to climb for them. They need to win these 2 games back to back. Certainly going even at very least. But this is definitely the quietest game of the series. Hope and JackeyLove want to change that fact as Hope wins out the trade, dodging a Mystic shot there.
Very nice sidestep. So I want to point out that Croco's already finished up his first item, albeit it's the Malignant, so it's very, very cheap as a rush. So expect to see those Requiems start to fly through relatively consistently. As, again, just sniffing out whether or not they have an opportunity to do the Dragon here, realistically. But again, it feels like every time we pan to this mid lane matchup, Creme just has a lot more health than Shanks does.
And to be honest, I feel like that's sort of been the story of today. Shanks has been struggling to have that impact in the mid lane. We did ask the question of, you know, Shanks versus Creme. Shanks has been a big player for his team, but can he match up to Creme, who has had an exceptional year? Creme is a player in my mind that this is the year for him to prove that he is a top mid laner. All the previous years, you know, his time on OMG, it was him making a name for himself and starting to become a household name within the LPL. This is the year, this is the playoffs for Creme. To separate himself from the pack, TP's coming down on the bottom side as Hope uses that ultimate. Requiem comes into play, and JackeyLove is taken out of the picture. Hope grabs the kill as Meiko is knocked up as well. Do they have the CC to finish the job? I don't think so. Tian protects his support as Ala isn't done hunting just yet. And Tian looks pretty juicy to him under the tower. Big damage onto the plant as Kael gets back out of tower range. But Tian doesn't have a way out. The wave is about to crash, and I think he's about to be dived. In the meantime, Croco's been solo killed by 369, and Tank Gragas with 2 solo kills in a single game. Hope answers at least with his second.
All right, Hope 2 kills, but how the hell did that solo kill happen, man? That's Tank Gragas, by the way. It's not AP Gragas.
I don't understand.
We'll get a replay. The LPL observers, they know what they're doing, but this is a fantastic play for AL down here. Get an assist for Croco, 2 kills for Hope. The gold continues to be funneled into the correct places. Static Shiv now picked up for Hope, so that should be lane priority for him wherever they decide to put this Kaisa for the immediate future. And that should hopefully start to be able for AL to set up for them to build a platform. Now, how?
Just absolutely bops him. Just absolutely bops him. But how does he kill at this point?
I mean, just,
oh yeah, he just walks under the tower.
Flash
okay.
up.
Yeah.
Yo, right balance team, because you guys were at, what was it, 2 or 3 series ago? I know you were there. I knew you had the interview with the ADs, or with the teams. They were like, hey, nerf the ADs. Let's get a look at Gragas again. Let's just get another pass at that guy, eh? Let's get that train rolling.
Definitely full tank. No 2 ways about it. You can tell by the damage he was doing. And now gets a chance to get a demolish proc down in the bottom lane as well, with 2 grubs working away.
Yo, tasty, tasty.
This is a tank Gragas that's 1,500 gold up in the laning phase. 369. He is mad that he's not had an MVP just yet in this series, and he's about to change that fact. At least he will if he keeps it up like this.
Yep. A level and a half up on Arla right now. I have a feeling, my dear boy, that this Renekton's not going to have much impact, at the very least on this side lane, for a very long time. Maybe a flank layer on down the line, but for now, 369 is he's kind of bothering Arla right now on this side lane.
Our first live adoption here in the LPL. This 369 decides to be Ala's dad. Yeah, tough one for Ala. Up here at the top lane, and he's on the wrong side of the matchup. Oh, God. Requiem comes through. I mean, it's top 369 going for it, but honestly, I'm not sure that that really changed the matchup. Barely touched him. Either way, Croco going to use that first strike. And with the Fated Ashes as well. It's a good chunk across the team of top esports.
Do you know?
Oh, hang on. Oh, hang on. Oh, hang on! 369 is toying with Ala's fate here. JackeyLove is hovering towards the bottom side. JackeyLove's moving over. Okay, no, he's going back to the mid lane. Never mind. And Ala gets a heal off. I think Ala's going to be okay.
Much, you know what's like sadder about this 1v1?
What?
Do you know how like most tanks will normally build Bramble Vest to like cut down Renekton's like healing trade back? He doesn't even have Bramble Vest. Like he's just winning these trades that hard. You know, like
Don't need to cut his sustain. If you could just out-sustain his sustain, says 369. Creme TP's down. And it'll be a tower surely, but here's hope to get some damage down alongside Ala. True Shot Barrage is there, and 369 will fall. Huge shutdown for Hope, and Shanks gets one as well. Massive play for AL.
Okay. Very good for AL. Very, very huge. That shutdown as well in particular. Going over to Hope. Hope is... He's been spoon-fed this game.
Yeah,
to be frank. He's 302 now. He might have even just bought a second item. Like, Shiv, Boots, pretty cheap combination. Maybe not bought a whole second item, but he's going to be damn close. Yeah, like 1,000 gold away. Off the top of my head, maybe it's like 1.3 with those components towards Guinsoo's. He's chilling.
He certainly
in this
is.
game. He's going to be super fed, diving into the backline whenever he's granted the opportunity now.
Not that much sustain on the side of top esports as well. If I'm assuming this is going to be that AP variant of the Kaisa, where you go the Rageblade second, you go into your AP with a Requiem coming down from Croco as well. That's going to be problematic for top esports if this goes long. Gold lead firmly in favor of AL, 4 grubs as well. And Drake is up on the map. Herald slammed down to try and get pressure there for AL.
Charge will come through. Unlike the Herald of last game. Or was it the game before? You guys know what Herald I'm talking about if you've been here for the whole series. And I hope you have. It's been a very fun one.
It must have been game 2 because it was top esports, I think, on the red side. Yeah. Or maybe I'm going crazy, to be honest. I don't know. I don't know why I asserted that when I'm really not sure. Just in caster mode, just confidently say anything. And
just say anything, and it'll get proven wrong later on. Well, hello!
Meiko says, goodbye. Go in! Requiem down, though, to try and answer, but it's not quite enough damage. Culling comes through. JackeyLove protecting his support.
Oh,
he finally has one, and he loves it. Turns it around onto Kael, and that'll be Drake for TES.
Goodness me. What a snap moment there from top esports. Meiko as well squeaks out. 1 HP. I can't quite remember who was blocking that culling, but I think Meiko's going to give him a big old hug after this game.
It was JackeyLove.
Their second dragon.
His very own AD carry.
His very own AD carry. Now, boys, I don't like top laners as much as the next guy.
Oh, wait a second! 369 ults the wave, clears this one out. Shanks is bolted under by Meiko. 369 flashes to get a knockup. Doesn't actually have the damage, and now Shanks gets a chance himself. Hope wailing away onto 369, but doesn't have the damage. This Shiv not hitting as hard as a Kraken Slayer.
It's me. Oh! Okay. Scary.
This is a scary game. There's a lot of knife's edge play in this game from both teams. They both know quite how important this game 4 is. Top don't want to go to 5, but AL certainly do.
Horror story game. Could you imagine a League of Legends horror just to debunk? We've been so serious today, Joe.
Yeah, the Fiddlesticks trailer.
Okay, true. Never mind. Really good engage from Meiko. I forgot about that trailer. It's so good.
So good.
The Requiem comes down. It's a lot of damage, but of course, Unbreakable Will, so Shanks has to culling. But JackeyLove blocks just about 80% of it, and then Kael eats a Q, eats an ore, and I think also a Q from the Corki and an E forward from JackeyLove. Settles that score.
Great fight from JackeyLove. Like, blocking the culling, using that barrier to protect Meiko, and then sees the angle to go aggressive at the end of the play as well. He just His Ezreal is just so clean, man. It's so clean. Feels like Ezreal, a premium pick in the patch right now as well. JackeyLove is loving every second of it. 5-5 though, as we broach the 20-minute mark, and it's 2 Drakes towards top esports. But Baron spawning onto the map soon. We've got a Karthus, and we've got a Zyra in the game. Baron is always an option for these two teams.
Yeah, double AD carries, but
There's
also
a Requiem.
A Requiem, 10
What's the
gold.
first strike?
First strike.
60
58.
gold.
Oh, I was so close. 3 gold off.
Nice try. Nice
I know
try.
my first strike values. I know them. But, yeah. I imagine Croco is just gonna continue to cast R when there's like nothing going on. It's kind of the point of first strike malignants. They have nerfed the gold income from first strike many times this year, actually. But it's still something you can just do if you know you're not gonna need it for an objective. Might as well throw it around. It's only like a 90-second cooldown at this point in the game. Malignants. And I assume also Ultimate Hunter. Might as well stack them both. Though Treasure Hunter also a good gold income. And I'm not going to bore you with the Karthus ins and outs. As a Dominus, he's got the Empowered Blast Cone.
Okay. I mean, he's got a long way to go
You
to
won't.
get onto JackeyLove.
You won't.
He actually won't.
I don't think he will. Yeah.
He's just going to pretend none of this ever happened. Okay, Blast Cone's into the mid lane.
Hey,
Full
guys,
rage
don't worry
bar.
about why I now have full rage in the middle of mid lane when I haven't been in combat for the last 30 seconds. Nothing strange.
I was fighting the
happened in that
wolves, I
bush.
swear.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, you know what? There was an attempt. A for effort, D for execution there for Alec, unfortunately. Definitely not having the best of the top lane, is he? Tough one.
Nope.
But I will say, top esports, they're kind of chilling. Like, they've got their 2 items now on Creme and JackeyLove, absolutely matching between the 2 AD carries there. They've got 2 items on Tian. They're quite happy for this to be a bit of a longer game. That's okay for them. But I'd say that's true for AL as well. You know, Croco is very happy with the long game. Hope very happy to go to 6 items AP Kaisa. You know, like, I feel like we could have a bit of a stalemate for quite a while with no significant threat of soul anytime soon.
Yep, and if we do end up with this long stalemated game, regardless of the result, well, actually the result's kind of important for what I'm about to say.
Yeah.
Just spare a thought and a prayer for JDG, who are still sat on the sidelines, awaiting the result. No doubt watching the series. AL, of course, again, remember, if they win, JDG are out of regional qualifiers. No worlds for them.
Yagao sat back in his lazy boy, smoking his cigarette, drinking his Red Bull, watching the series.
I just imagine every time AL win a fight, it's just the nails emote.
Do you know, imagine if you're Yagao here, like, do you want top esports to win? Are you willing to miss worlds for your old nemesis in 369, in JackeyLove, in Tian, to see them fall short? I don't know which one would be sweeter for Yagao, honestly. Probably go to worlds, let's be honest.
Probably go to worlds, yeah. Alright, Dragon's up, Joe. 3rd dragon of the game. Top esports have 2. AL have none. AL would love to stop this dragon stacking, but you know what they could also do? They could also just go murder this big purple worm in like 3 seconds because they've got 2 AD carries and a Karthus. They have been spotted, like you say, so they're going to have to drop off it. But in a second, they took off 3k HP. So do with that information what you will.
Okay, Requiem pre-fight here. That's a nice little chunk onto top esports. What do we get in? 70 gold! 10 more than last time. Or 9 more, I can't count.
Actually 9. It's okay. This is hard.
I mean, AL sort of in a position to rinse repeat, but there is a ward in the Baron pit, so top esports would have full information. Neither team really willing to commit, but AL are starting to get chunked. I mean, Croco down to less than half his HP, same for Hope.
Okay.
But the redemption out from Kael.
I think that was actually out of vision as well. And now that ward's gone, top esports have to continually just be weary.
Blue trinket available for JackeyLove. Meiko just drops a ward into the pit. And AL, I mean, to be honest, a pretty weak attempt on the Baron, while Creme just does the Drake on the other side of the map. Top esports, they eat macro like that for breakfast.
We got a tower as well out of this. A little bit of mid-game shenanigans here from AL. Gonna cost them a tower. Soul point. not the most impactful thing right now, but I tell you what, in 4 minutes and 50 seconds, it certainly might be. And also, Chemtech Soul, probably the best Soul against Karthus, question mark? I'm sure.
Yeah, possibly.
Maybe Mountain Soul, I don't know what the maths would work out to be, but you know, low HP against
I guess it depends on
Karthus
what
Soul.
your items are.
Yeah,
as
I guess
well.
what your... Yeah.
Obviously, for 369, Mount Soul is pretty poggers, dare I say, as the kids say these days, I believe. I've been informed.
I don't even think they say poggers anymore. I think
no.
Yeah, I think they're Joe, we're getting old, man.
You say we, like with this substantial gap in our age. If you're getting old, I'm ancient.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not going to say yes or no to that one.
I was going to say it's been a while since I was young and cool, but let's be honest, I was never cool. I'm a League of Legends player.
Wow. You're cool in my heart, Joe. That's what matters.
I wasn't looking for validation there. It was just meant to be funny. Either way, I mean, very even game. Very, very even game. And I like that Hope is having a great game for himself as well, because I feel Hope has had a pretty tough series, same for Shanks. And they're two of the players that I was most excited for on this roster, because when you look at Hope's history, I mentioned it a few times across the split, but I'll say it again for anyone that hasn't heard it before. You know, started on EDG, had a pretty good year, I'd say, for a rookie at least, and then was replaced by Viper, one of the best AD carries in the world over from Korea. And then went over to JDG and had a pretty good year for himself, I'd say, getting some international games in and whatnot. And then was replaced by Ruler, one of the best Korean AD carries in the world, jumping over to the LPL. So now, AL, he's had a pretty good year, I'd say. I'm just saying, Gumayushi pays, AL
Guma pays,
looking for a top-level Korean AD carry.
Look, I love you guys. Stay in the LCK. Let Hope get
Give him a chance, man. Give him
a chance, man.
Yeah, he has had a pretty tough day today, though, it has to be said. I think his split overall has been pretty good. Today, he's had some awkward moments, walking up, getting caught. But this game, 3-0-2, has his Kaisa. This is his moment to really show the world what he's made of and show everyone why AL are in the top 6 right now. Why they deserve a shot at that double elimination. TP behind enemy lines from Ala. This time, the dominus will work out. This time, it's set up, but Kael's just evaporated before my very eyes. Ala late on the flank. He's trying to get in, but he's 1v4 at the moment. 369 arrives to turn it 1v5. It's an unmitigated disaster for AL.
And now be Baron off the back of this play here for Top Esports. The game has been on a knife's edge. Croco's here, he's got flash. Not worth it. His call.
Oh
He's even gonna smite those, and now they're on the wrong side of the map.
Oh, Croco's doomed, isn't he?
Yep, goodbye. Oh.
And there we go, one last auto from Creme. Finishes the job. It's Baron. It's a bunch of kills, and it is pretty much everything Top Esports could ask for. They're already on Soul Point with Drake up in 90 seconds time. And what was an even game is now looking incredibly tough for AL.
Here's the flank from Ala, but I mean, it's all about the engage here. Kael flashes on to Meiko here to try and get the W, but JackeyLove just flashes back, dodges it all, and that's kind of it. I do agree, it was a whole bunch of damage. But yeah, no one can really get in. Hope was backing off. Ala just felt like he had to go. And if he kills Tian, maybe there's no Baron, you know, takedown from Top Esports and 369, so you can definitely respect the idea of going in for that kill, but doesn't quite find the lethal damage. And now that's Baron in the back pocket of Top Esports. Dragon very soon, Soul, and the prospects of AL.
Yeah.
Bringing this to a game 5 are slowly dwindling.
Top Esports, they've got that Baron. They're one of the most efficient teams with the Baron in the entire game. They're so good at taking these objectives, and with a Corki Ezreal comp as well. It's not like the comp's not good at sieging. They're going to pressure in both mid lane and bot lane, and both in-hip towers barely surviving, although the bot lane calls me a liar as it falls. And Top Esports very much on the cusp here. All of those stories of the AL players could be ending, as it's 2 inhibitors. Meiko chunked in the Requiem. Will finish the job. That's one for AL.
They have to chase this down.
The Prey Seeker doesn't land. The Void Seeker even. As Hope can't really find a way in. Kael can't find a flank because it's warded. They got one pick onto Meiko. Oh no, Kael is caught by the roots! And Top Esports, they lose Meiko, they answer in kind onto Kael. That will be soul, short of a miracle for AL.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to fight here in this choke for the red buff. We'll go for Top Esports, and now that'll be Dragon. Soul point. AL, valiant effort. With Meiko dead, they thought they could make the chase down work, but very smart bit of usage from the blue ward. They catch Kael looking for that wide wrap around, and yeah, AL again, opportunity potentially to bring themselves back into the game forward.
Yeah. And I feel like Top Esports, they're just so good at playing this methodical style, because this feels like the slowest game of the series so far, but honestly, the second they have an advantage, the game just ends. So their average game time, even though they've played these slow games all year, their average game time's like 31 minutes. Like, they still close games damn fast. They get that Baron, they take 2 inhibs and Soul off the back of it. And now, poised to take the game and the series, poised to push themselves into top 4, and to also keep their old rivals, JDG, alive in the race for Worlds.
Could you believe it? JDG, they've probably been screaming and shouting as much as the coaching staff of Top Esports every time Top Esports wins a fight.
Yeah.
No doubt, as they're looking to continue to
Here we go.
stamp authority here.
Meiko ended his EDG legacy to be a part of this team. Creme came over from OMG to be a part of this. 369 left the JDG Super Squad to rejoin this team. And right now, they're about to broach that double elimination once again. They're going to go back into that all too familiar top 4 in the LPL. As the third inhib is broken, the base in shambles for AL. They have one last opportunity, one last ditch defense.
They have to find something magical. Kyle's got to find the back line. Arla's got to get in there, and Hope's got to assassinate a Squishy. That's it, but the time's running out. They've got to pull the trigger soon.
It's a team effort from Top Esports. As in goes Ala. Meiko denies his engage. Creme escapes as well, as Ala now chunked, knocked up, and will be finished off. 369 escapes the top side of the play. Requiem onto 369 and Meiko, but it's just not enough. And Top Esports will find those Nexus towers. They will find AL's members' hope sent back onto the fountain as Top Esports remind everyone who they are and what they stand for. To the top indeed.
Top 4 secured for Top Esports, and AL's year is finished. What a dominating performance it has been from Top Esports today.
Just look at the faces. Meiko's got a grin. No one else shows a single emotion on Top Esports. Cold as ice. It's just another day in the office. I'll take a bow. Top Esports victorious once more, and will make it into the top 4 bracket, which means their next opponent will be LNG. That is going to be such an incredible series. Top Esports, it felt like a pretty rough start to the series, honestly, especially game 2. Feels like they warmed into things as the series went on, and I cannot wait to see 5 games between them and LNG.
Me neither. LNG have ramped up spectacularly into the summer split. And the Top Esports is frightening as this. Against an LNG as sharp as how they're playing right now.
Yeah.
That can only deliver. Can't wait.